Okay, so today we're going deep on Zambia.
Sounds good.
Based on all this awesome stuff you dug up.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, like, looking this over, there's so much here.
Yeah, there is.
From, like, geography and animals and the people and history. It's,
Yeah.
It's really something.
It's kind of all over the place, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of the mission for this deep dive, right?
Yeah.
See if we can, like, pull out the most interesting stuff from all this and, like, figure out what makes Zambia so unique.
Let's do it.
Cool. Okay, so, like, right off the bat, this thing about Victoria Falls just jumps out at me.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, I've seen pictures and stuff, but, like, reading that the local name, Mosio Atunya, literally means the smoke that thunders.
It's pretty incredible, right?
Yeah, that's not just a name. It's like a fact, you know?
And you can actually see the mist from it, like, miles away.
Wow.
It's that big.
Yeah, that's just huge.
Yeah.
And then, like, on a totally different scale, there's that thing about the border with Botswana.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's only, like, what, 150 meters or something at the Kazengula River?
It's one of the shortest borders in the world.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's pretty wild, right?
Yeah, like, how does that even happen?
It's a good question. Like, how do you end up with a tiny little border like that?
Makes you wonder about, like, the history there, right?
Totally, yeah. Like, all the stuff that led to that line on the map.
And then there's Lake Bangweulu.
Yeah, that one's interesting.
So it's like the only really big lake that's totally inside Zambia, right?
Right. Most of the other big lakes in Africa are shared by a bunch of countries.
Makes sense, I guess.
But Bangweulu is all Zambia's.
Huh. So that's gotta, like, impacts the ecosystem there, right?
Oh, definitely. And probably the culture around the lake, too.
Okay, so speaking of culture, your notes mention all these different languages.
Yeah.
Over 70 indigenous languages.
It's amazing.
Plus, English is the official language, right?
Exactly.
Wow, so Bemba, Nyanja, and Tonga are the most common ones, you said.
Yeah, those are the big three.
That's a lot of ways of talking and thinking, right?
It really is. It shows you how diverse the country is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's some fascinating cultural traditions, too.
Okay, like what?
Well, have you heard of the Komboka ceremony?
I don't think so.
So it's this amazing event where the Lozi people basically migrate.
Migrate.
Yeah, they move from the floodplains to higher ground when the Zambezi River floods.
Okay.
And they do it all in these huge canoes. It's a whole procession led by their king.
Wow, that's got to be incredible to see.
It's a really powerful symbol of their connection to the land and their history.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about the nature stuff.
Sure.
Zambia is like the birthplace of walking safaris, right?
It is, yeah, particularly in South Wangwa National Park.
So, like, what's that like compared to a regular safari?
It's a lot more immersive. You're on foot. You're really in the environment.
Wow, that must be intense.
It is, but it's also incredibly rewarding.
And you said Zambia is considered a really safe place for a safari.
Yeah, it's got well-managed parks and relatively low crime rates.
Good to know.
Plus, they have some really cool and unique animals.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Well, there's the shoebill stork, which has this crazy prehistoric-looking beak.
I've got to look that one up.
You should. And then there's the black lichway, a rare type of antelope.
See, that's the stuff I love learning about these animals you just wouldn't see anywhere else.
Exactly.
Okay, so beyond the nature and culture, Zambia also has this interesting economic history.
Right.
It's a big copper producer, right?
Yeah, it's been a major source of copper for decades.
So that's going to be a big part of their economy.
Oh, absolutely. It connects them to the global market.
Okay, and this is going to sound random, but what's the deal with the Zambian space program?
Oh, yeah. That's a fascinating story.
It's from the 1960s, right?
Yeah, it was this ambitious plan to try and get to the moon.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously?
And it obviously didn't work out.
No, but the fact that they even tried is pretty amazing.
Yeah, like that takes guts.
It really does. It shows this forward-thinking spirit.
I mean, they just got independence and they're like, let's go to the moon. It's a really interesting part of their history.
Okay, so to, like, sum all this up,
Yeah.
we've got the awesomeness of Victoria Falls, the weirdness of that tiny border,
Right.
all those languages, the Kumboka ceremony, walking with wild animals,
Yeah.
and then copper and space ambitions. It's like,
It's a lot, right?
it's a lot. Yeah, Zambia is full of surprises.
Definitely.
So, like, given all this, what else do you think we might find if we dug even deeper into Zambia?
Who knows what other stories are out there?
And for you listening, what stood out the most?
Yeah. What part of Zambia sparked your curiosity?
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been fun.
See you next time.
See you back.
Bye.